Welcome back to 9 a.m. to 5 a.m. As always, I'm your host, John J. Ransom Futrell. This is Kobe number. This is episode 24. A little excited, somewhat, not really. I promise y'all I'll give y'all 2 in 1 week. Although it took me longer than I expected. Here I am. So last episode was about telling your story. This one is about impacting your world. Let's kind of get into it. I think I'm going to talk about a few other things, but we'll see how it go. Once again, this one's off the top of my head. I didn't really organize this one. It kind of came to me just within my own thoughts of whatever is going on in my life. So impacting your world. What the hell do I mean by that? Okay, well, when I say your world, I mean exactly what is around you, but I also mean whatever is not directly around you, because you do have the power to touch things and to bring things to you that are not exactly close to you at the moment. So, but I want to say this, just to connect this to telling your story. When you tell your story, you impact your world and you impact other people's worlds, which by chance, I'm not saying it will always happen, but it can affect the world. So what the fuck is it that you can do that can impact the world? Well, there's multiple ways. It can be through whatever your skills are. Whatever your business is, whether you give back or things of that nature. Because mainly the subject matter came to me because for my birthday, what I wanted to do was give back. Obviously, I do the podcast. I got a show this Sunday for my birthday, a spoken word showcase. I'm hoping that proceeds from that can go to feeding the poor in New York City, even though I'm in Jersey. That's just for the immediate time period. I do have plans of doing other things, but also impacting the world is just by giving my advice, my energy, my consultation, my experience to those who may be going through similar things or who have went through it in the past or are about to go through it, as well as obviously through my art, which a lot of people know me more through my art. That is me impacting my world. So what can you do to impact your world? Well, you have to figure out what your strengths and weaknesses are. Magnify your strengths. Minimalize your weaknesses, but do not neglect your weaknesses, because a weakness can become a strength. You have the power to make a weakness a strength by simply your mindset and how you view your weakness. If you understand your weakness and you know where it's coming from, you can actually work on your weakness and possibly turn that weakness into an advantage when it comes to impacting someone, telling a story, or even in your own business. The reason is because often weaknesses are relatable. Not everybody's going to relate to your strength. I'm going to say that again. A weakness can't be more relatable than your strength is. When you're fucking good at something naturally and, you keep winning at that thing you're good at, it's hard for people that are not naturally good at the same thing to relate to you. Period. That's just like saying, okay, I can write more than 100 poems in a day off the top of my head, and it doesn't bother me. If someone can't do the same thing, they're not going to be able to relate to it. Yeah, it may inspire them, but it can also inspire and create envy. Creating envy is not something that you want to do. I'm going to say that again. Creating envy is not something that you want to do. We live in a society where motherfuckers really love to talk this haters shit and talk this, whenever someone's viewing you in a particular way or viewing you in a bad way or wishing bad on you, that means you're doing something right. That's bullshit. Actually, you want to be 100% honest, because a part of that is their ego, but your mindset and thinking that is your ego, which absolutely does nothing positive for you. You're just putting out negative energy, and you're embracing negative energy that's coming to you. If you embrace negative energy, you keep it coming to you, and you put it out, all you bring about is negativity. You're not bringing nothing positive to you. Do the math. I don't know what else I can say about shit like that. So, before I go a little bit deeper, try to impact your world as positive as you can, or be as positive as you can. Give out as much positive energy as you can, because this world's fucked up enough, and Lord knows we don't need more negativity, in my opinion. Do what you do. But the way I see it is this: if you're going to impact your world, be as positive as possible. So now, impacting your world, how do you bring that into business or whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, living your dreams, period? Well, to me, it's like this. If I know one of my things for living my dreams or something I'm trying to do is to say, for instance, become a world teacher or something that matter. What do I need to do? Well, I need to, in some form or way, gain some type of audience, gain some type of popularity. I need to start giving speeches, work on my public speaking. I need to put myself in positions that can overall build up to that goal. But at the same time of me putting myself in positions, I need to be impacting people. And when I'm impacting people, I'm bringing them into my world, therefore affecting my world and affecting their world, which means I am making an impact on my world. I mean, that's pretty basic. Or say, for instance, that's not a goal. Say I want to release a book. I have this fresh subject matter that I don't feel like too many people talk or have spoken about. Perhaps it is just based on imagination. But I use real life things, real life scenarios and experiences that an audience can relate to create my book. And therefore, I believe I can gain an audience. Okay, bet. So before someone even gets to your book, what do you need to do? You need to market and promote. So what's an effective way to market and promote? Tell a story. Connecting back to the last episode. So now you're telling a story. So your story impacting and affecting someone will make them want to go buy your book. Because once again, like I said before, in this day and age, your product in which you're selling is based more upon you than it is based on an actual product. Now, if your actual product is great, you will continue to bring in the audience, and that person will tell another person, and so on and so on. But see, your impact and the way you're impacting your audience or your consumer is what will cause your product to be successful in this day and age. It's your impact, not the product's impact. The product's impact comes after your impact. I'll say that again. The product's impact comes after your impact, which means you need to positively affect and impact as many people as possible and create a great product. Period. That's how you accomplish your goal. That's how you sell a great book. That's how you sell a great product, period, in general. What's another example? Music business. You want to be an artist, and in this day and age, we all know, well, I can't say we all know, but majority of people know that record labels are dying. There's only really 3 huge ones and a bunch of little ones under them and blah, 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 blah. The reality is the record business is not making money like it used to. Okay. We know about the mixtape craze and giving out free music and blah, 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 blah. And this, that, and the third. All right. So you're trying to build a buzz. How you build a buzz? You impact people through your music, through your art, and through what you do. Now, that being said, I'm going to go off on a little bit of a tangent because I want to inform the artists out there so y'all know what's going on. So now we're in a day and age where we know and we realize, or the music business knows and realizes, that people are not buying music like that no more. So we have all these streaming services, and that's another way for record labels or artists to get paid. Now the problem is that if you're a songwriter or producer, you're not getting paid through streams. Only the artist is. Only the label is. If I'm gonna say this again, if you are a producer or songwriter, that means the publishing really is not coming in like that, because now you're talking pennies, you're talking 10 cents, maybe, if that. That's the reality of it. So, what do you do as a songwriter or a producer? And this is not including if you're an artist that writes and produces their own music, so, as I do too. Even though we do get affected as well because we're getting less money and we have to, rely on other streams of income. So as a producer or songwriter, what do you need to do? Well, what you need to be doing is, at this point, okay, you don't have the popularity of, say, a popular artist to go ahead and do all these things and perform. I mean, maybe based on your name, you could probably get some of them things. But what else do you need to do? Well, you need to find alternate streams of income. If you know you're a great songwriter, producer, teach somebody. Impact somebody's world, teach them. Consultation, make extra money, do it like that. And don't give them bullshit advice, give them real advice, give them great advice. Therefore, you're impacting someone, you're bringing in an audience, and now you have more people that are actually interested in your work and what you do, because now they understand what you're doing. They understand your struggle. They understand why it is so important because the problem is most people don't buy music because it's so readily accessible and it's so oversaturated with bullshit that a lot of people just don't want to buy music. So in order for you to make any real money in this music business, you need to have side hustles and side businesses, but you also need to be able to take advantage of your skills and put out great content and work. At the same time, with putting out great content and work, whatever it is your side hustle is, it needs to always relate back to whatever your main hustle is, whatever your main business is. That's how you really survive, especially in this day and age, and it's only going to get worse. That's the reality of it. Unless streaming services all of a sudden decide they're going to pay artists more, which they're not, because you're talking about a multi-billion-dollar industry. That's the fucking reality of it. That's the real shit that a lot of people have. You gotta understand that we're talking about multi-billion-dollar industries, man. So your little aspiration for $100,000 or even $1 million ain't shit to these people. That's the reality of it. So what you need to be doing instead of concentrating on money is creating great content and making sure that you can pay your fucking bills and live your life happily, because happiness will get you further than money will. That's the reality of it, because you have motherfuckers that have way more money than you ever will have. So how do you navigate, become successful, live your dreams, and do other things beyond the money? You find happiness. You live your dreams. You are passionate about what you do. You full-fledged are full-time in your passion in what you love to do. That's the real way that you do shit. Because happiness can trump money. Pun intended. Fuck Donald Trump, in my opinion. Now, like I said, happiness can trump money, man. So use your passions, use your dreams, use your skills, use what it is that you do and make an impact on people. Now, I want to warn against something. Just because you see someone else doing something that's impacting people, that does not mean you should be doing the same thing. I said this shit before, and I told y'all in the last series when I was talking about telling stories. Understand, you do not want to do what everybody else is doing. Not if you're trying to survive, not if you're trying to be successful, not if you're trying to live your dreams. If you're doing what everyone else is doing, now do a little bit, take a little bit from what everybody else is doing, learn. Also look at what their mistakes are, because you do not want to be duplicating or copying someone and then following the same mistakes and then sitting there and you're wondering why they're successful and why you're not. Well, as simple as this, jackass. You didn't understand that their weaknesses are not your weaknesses. You magnified their weaknesses because you have less popularity than they have. It makes no sense. That's just like trying to sell a product and you're trying to mass produce, but you don't have the money that these big fucking companies have. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. You have to build up. You have to build a foundation. You have to find your own path. I've been saying that shit for this entire year. I've been doing these podcasts. It hasn't been a year yet, but you get what I'm talking about. These months I've been doing this. This is episode 24. I've been restating a lot of the same things when it comes to living your dreams. You got to understand that. Be passionate. Tell your story. Also impact people. Find your happiness. Find your passion. Do something that makes you fucking happy. If you can't find happiness every day, you're fucking up. Not everybody else, you're fucking up. That's the reality of it, because people are not going to care what makes you happy, especially if they're not happy themselves. They don't have it in them. And that's not to say, be completely evil or have malice intentions or things of that nature, but just understand the world that we're in, because your happiness can possibly affect someone else. You have the strength to do that, period. I'm going to say this again. You have the strength to impact people. You have the strength to make someone other than yourself happy, which means you have the strength to make yourself happy. You have the strength. It's on you. You take responsibility for that. You impact the world. You go do that. You choose to do that. You make yourself happy. You live your dreams. You accomplish whatever it is you're trying to accomplish every fucking day. Accomplish something. Accomplish something. I'm going to tell you like I told these kids on Wednesday, man. And I've stated this before and y'all have heard this shit, but it's true. Overnight success take 10 fucking years. 10 fucking years. That's the reality of it. I can tell you right now, I've been making music for maybe about 3 years now. About 3 years officially, 3.5 years. And I can tell you, guaranteed, I put in enough hours where it's been almost 6 or 7 years of making music. But guess what? I haven't reached 10 years yet. I'm still going. I've achieved a lot of shit, but I'm not nowhere near where I want to be at. I'm nowhere near where I want to be financially. I'm nowhere near where I want to be artistically and otherwise. So what am I doing? I'm still working my ass off. And guess what? I still find time to do this podcast because I know it helps somebody. That's me impacting the world. That's me giving back. That's me using my skills. That's me understanding it's bigger than me. But I also find happiness in what I do. This shit makes me happy when people hit me up and comment and tell me, yo, I loved your podcast. Guess what? This shit makes me happy. And I'm making someone else happy. I'm inspiring somebody. I'm making an impact on the world. I'm not a billionaire. I'm not a millionaire. That's just being real. I have bills. But guess what? I'm still doing my part. Why? Because I understand and I know this is part of my brand. Period. That's the reality of it. This podcast is part of my brand. Every single thing I do is part of my brand. Like, you gotta understand, like, when you really tell your story and you tell it in a genuine way, people can feel that. People are inspired by your passion and whatever it is that you do. There's no excuse for you not to be grinding. There's no excuse for you not to be living your dreams. There's no excuse for you not to find your happiness. There's no excuse for you not to impact somebody. I don't give a fuck if you work at the worst job in the world, but if you impact somebody positively, guess what? You're doing something. You're doing something, period. Because that positive energy is a motherfucker. I'm telling you right now. It really is. Positive energy is a motherfucker, man. I'm telling you. Your story is a motherfucker to somebody. I'm guaranteeing you, maybe the people around you, the people that know you may not understand your story, or they may not get it. But guess what? Somebody out there is going to get it. Somebody's going to look at your story and say, damn, I understand. See, because at the end of the day, you don't really need people to know the full story, but you need them to understand what it is you're trying to do. That's how you sell your product. That's how you sell yourself. That's how you sell your brand or business. Like, for real. I'm gonna go off topic a little bit. My 29th birthday is December 14th, which is this Monday, December 13th. We're doing a Speak Your Piece, poetry and spoken word showcase, Marshall, New Jersey at Veronica's 36 Speedwell Avenue. Doors open at 5. Come through. If you're obviously in the tri-state area, you're gonna have at least 10. I'm saying at the very least. Off the top of my head, great poets hitting the stage. I might even perform a little bit, although I'm hosting. And a part of that money goes to charity. Like I said earlier, I'm trying to at least feed 10 homeless people in the tri-state area, in New York in particular. At first, I plan to do a lot more. So I just want to kind of, rather than the shit just being me just speaking, I kind of want to recap the year for y'all so y'all understand exactly why I'm talking all this shit, why I'm saying all this shit. The things that I've achieved or accomplished this year. This year, age 28. So I've published Black Hearts. I published Black Hearts in the Red Room. I published Black Hearts in the Red Room Deluxe version. That's 3 books. That's 5 books in total for me in my writing career. I've published, I'll put it this way. I've got a publishing deal, music-wise. I've released already 3 singles for this year. I have another 2 singles about to get released. So that's 5. I have another project about to get released. That's 6 things in this year alone. Went up to Canada to perform, put on a couple shows. That also happened this year. And that's not including my production company, more specifically with my partner. I think about 4 or 5 events this year as well. That's not including mentoring. That's not including this podcast. That's not including my first samples for my luxury scarf line, which will be released in January, are on the way. And the list fucking kind of goes on. Those aren't bragging points. The point that I want to make about that is you never stop grinding. You never stop pushing. You never stop perceiving. I'm about to say perceiving or something like that. Rather than like perceiving, you never stop living your dreams. You never stop truly going after your goals. Never stop, man. Because I'm saying all this shit, and that's not including free music. That's not including free books I've released. You know, in total for this year, if you want to talk about book-wise, I've released 6 books, 3 of which were put out for purchase. That's not including EPs I've released. I've released at least 3 or 4 EPs this year that were free. So if you add up, when I do my EPs, you're talking about 5 tracks at the very least. You do the numbers. And that's not including me writing over 60 poems for Valentine's Day last year. All these things are part of my story. And I'm telling you all this to tell you that whatever it is you see, you can do it. Because I have a whole bunch of other shit waiting and in the works. Have a whole bunch of other music waiting in the works. Why? Because I don't stop, because that's what I'm passionate about. That's why I live for it. That's why I love. That's me living my fucking dreams. That's me understanding. And that's me telling you, like, I'm not just preaching this shit. I'm telling you because I live it. I do it. It's hard for me to sleep over 4 hours without my body being completely exhausted because I feel like I overslept. That's how I operate. I'm not telling you to do the same shit because it's probably dangerous, especially if your body's not used to it. But I'm telling you all that shit so you understand what it is. So you understand that at the end of the day, me doing all that shit is to impact people, but it's also because it makes me happy. It's not because I'm getting something out of it. That's the reality of it. It just makes me happy. I like doing it. I do this podcast because I like doing it. It's not really a daunting task. The only time it's daunting is if I'm fucking crazy, exhausted, and tired, which is the reason why this is getting released later than I expected, to be 100% honest with you, and that's just being real. But the reality is that I have the power to get my ass up, press record, and record this. I have the power to do that. So if I have the power to do it, I need to just do it. So guess what? That's what I'm here doing on a Friday night. It's my birthday weekend. I'm not going out anywhere. What am I doing? I'm recording this podcast. Because I care that much about the people that actually listen and pay attention to what the fuck I'm saying. I care that much about my brand and my story. I care that much about helping people to reach the levels they're trying to reach to. Even if I can't reach that level personally, maybe I'll inspire the next motherfucking great poet, artist, businessman, businesswoman, whoever, like whoever. My point is that I do it because this is what I'm passionate about, or this is one of the things I'm passionate about. I've done 24 episodes in just a few months, man. Like, consistency. I'm trying to impact people consistently. This shit isn't just, okay, I'm going to do it now. No, I don't think I'm going to do it. Nah, I got this going on. Nah, I'm too tired. Nah, I have these other responsibilities. So the fuck what? So what? Boo-hoo. Like, I'm exhausted right now. I'm actually supposed to be resting, but you know what? Fuck that. I'm better than that. I'm mentally stronger than that. I make the decisions. I know how much I can take. You have the power, man. Yo, go impact the world. Like, for real, go impact the world. Impact the fucking world, man. As always, this is John J. Ransom Futrell. 9 a.m. to 5 a.m. Holla back. Peace.
9 a.m. to 5 a.m. 9 a.m. to 5 a.m. 9 a.m. to 5 a.m.